Alright, I'm getting a chat earlier than normal. Usually I wait way too long, and then I get even further behind the normal. What's up, Jared Punch? Well, listen, man, you gotta focus on that quiz. That's important. Are you taking online class or something? Actually, on a Saturday, man. You know, Rex Noel's abilities are so mid compared to Austin, Eunice, and Morris. I'm actually really curious to the description of what Morris's magic is. Like, what does he have? Some weird foresight ability, or is like him being able to see inside of her brain and her mind, specifically a devil ability, or does it have something to do with his, just like an extension of what his base magic is? I like brain magic. I really like the idea of brain magic. That's been my thing. I'm sticking with it. What's up, Lord Hendrickson? Stop bullying people who don't like them. It's Austin on Twitter. So the thing is, if people just don't like Austin, that's one thing. But when you go out of your way just to try and talk shit for the sake of just getting clout, that's a completely different scenario. When people start saying stuff that isn't either true, or they're just trying to slander something, because it's like the Jujutsu Kaisen fans, when they just want to bring up sales and numbers purely not of like, man, it's really cool that the series is you know, being really big and successful right now. It's instead they just want to talk down to series with less sales, and that's more of the, I think, the problem that I have when it comes to people who slander. But also, like I said, if it's stuff that just doesn't make sense, and you know, you gotta correct them. Can't let fake news of series, you know, go unchecked. Herbert Timms, he's got the muscle in there, getting strong. Saying Rax the goat. I don't know about that. I'm okay. I am just that of a humble weeb. Now, all the people adjacent to me, they're all pretty cool. Subscribe to, give them some subscriptions. I was just on stream with RTL Faith. Give his channel a look, and J Cloud, as well as see if any of them actually want to come in today. I gotta give them a link to see if they want to come chat. But also, probably on my Discord. I might just do it in the chat. I actually don't know how to make I'm just gonna figure it out as I'm doing this. I'm gonna make a voice channel in my Discord and put a lock on it so I can see if people only select members can join. I'm gonna do that. I didn't think about that because that was one of the things, like yesterday I forgot to mention when I did like a late night stream, and it was pretty much just, hey, anyone who wants to hang out at night, come chill. But now I'm going to do I'm just gonna do a selective couple people, probably just a couple of, like people that are usually adjacent to me in the streams, to come hang out, come chat, and then, I don't know, maybe I'll bring somebody else in if they got something big to talk about. One thing that we gotta talk about is frickin' Quan having this, putting his word out there of making this video on Morris being Asa's dad. He put it out there. He didn't give a time limit, and he's trying to go back on it. So we gotta get him to do it. And like I mentioned a little bit yesterday, I do think Quan would make it really funny, and that's one of the things I really am motivated in getting Quan to do the video. I'm just gonna leave this. Let me see. Where is the tab? Voice channels. Okay, I'm gonna join this one. Cool. And I'll mute myself in there, so if somebody ever wants to show up, I'm gonna get a link. Let me see this. Okay. Now, let me get some more of these comments. The only slander allowed in this community is gray slander. No, the gray slander is not allowed. The gray slander is ridiculous. I think it is completely goofy. And I mentioned, it doesn't make any sense for Gray to be below Mary Jane, because the level of boost that Gray gets from, just devil slaying against a demon and a devil, it was enough for him to get to Marred Gear, and then, as we saw, the Alvarez version of it was enough to let him fight the partial version of E&D. And if Mary Jane can beat Gray, it would mean that even with his boost, he's not strong enough. So she has to be above either of the demons he's fought before. And her being above Darius Knots, it makes no sense. Even the partial version, it makes no canonical or narrative-wise sense. The Zeref should have been... I still think Zeref should have made at least to the semifinals. Because when it came to Gohan, he's a high-up villain in there in just the concept and the way that he's presented from a villain standpoint. I mentioned that as the Joker.
Whereas, like, Zareth is, like, massive in his story and, like, where he ties all these different areas to, plot-wise, on top of being a very complex dude. But J-Clon hasn't read Fairy Tail, so I didn't really want to go too much into spoilers. What I think will happen to Waft with Season 4? So, the fact that it's the last season, I don't know. Because it has to wrap up story pieces. And it was so weird at the end of Season 3 that I have absolutely no idea how Season 4 is going to play out, on top of knowing that it's going to be the last season. That, I think, is the weirder thing about Wakfu right now. Ajahn was the best boxing series. Oh, there's not a lot. Is there? I mean, how many other boxing series is there? At least that I can think of. Yeah, all this Grayslander, man, Herbert, is silly. Do I watch boxing? I don't watch boxing. I tried watching, what was that one, Megalobox, and then I got a couple episodes into it. I don't know, I just didn't keep up with it. I don't think I've really watched any specific boxing series, but I've watched series with boxing in it. Oh, well, at least boxing characters, like Ted from Zatch Bell. Like, he was I mean, he's pretty much just like a brawler. He's like a street punk brawler. And then his grimoire, actually, no, theirs was just spellbook. What was he called a grimoire? His spellbook was just enhanced physical strikes, and every single one was just up a higher degree. When Gray dies and stay dead. And that's never gonna happen. Gray's not gonna die. Wendy versus Vonica. I mean, Wendy scales higher, but also Wendy has a lot of ways to counter Vonica. Because Vonica's abilities, Wendy can just counter, and on top of that, Wendy has the separation chain, so she can legitimately separate Vonica and Magicula entirely. She can cut off their connection. That's one of the broken things. Like, Wendy legitimately, like, if she wasn't so young, like, if she was up in the age-wise of, like, Natsu, Gajo, or Laxus, or any of the older Dragon Slayers, she'd be such a dangerous force just from the amount of utility and base counter moves she has. Leopold death? I don't think so. Like, the thing about Leopold is Tabata clearly has plans for him, kind of like Rill, but we just don't know when those are gonna, like, come to fruition. We have no idea when the portions of their story are going to play together, and into like the gears that Tabata really has when they get moving. And not just getting moving, but also showing the actual, like, aspects of it. When he's going to start giving them the level of presence and writing that he hypes them up narrative-wise to be. Because Leopold definitely has been hyped, but I mean, like, his narrative, though, is just a more of in the waiting of, you know, that he's supposed to be a rival to Asta. He's got two very powerful older siblings he has to overcome, that it seems like he's gonna eventually, just because, unless Tabata throws away, like, the whole idea of him being a rival to Asta, then I don't know. It'd be really weird to get rid of that, but at the same time, it seems like it's a big hurdle to get over when he keeps hyping up Merleona more and more. Itadori versus Asta. I mean, Asta is outright faster and more powerful, like, across the board. Like, it's not even close. I love hearing you type super fast like a crazy secretary. I got a lot of stuff I gotta say, but I got my mechanical keyboard. My keyboard actually does look a little bit like a typewriter, because I've got these round keys. Didn't Lucifaro be the final villain of Black Clover? I think it either has to be Lucifaro or some type of Merlin-like character. Because that's the only thing I can really think of that would fit the tone of Black Clover. If you had an evil Wizard King, but like a Wizard King of Wizard Kings, where he's just a peak. Some form of super wizard who, for some reason, is trying to do evil stuff, and they have to take him down. And it'd be like, oh, well, he's the greatest in the world, so it would make sense of why they'd be like the end series villain. I don't really know, like, other than that. Like, that and Lucifaro, I think, are the best sets for final villains, just from the stuff that we currently know in the series. Things could change if we end up getting, you know, way more of a widespread setup of the Black Clover world, because there's still other continents and, like, everything outside the Four Kingdoms to explore. It just really depends on what Tabata wants to do with it. Do you see a Heavenly Knight being an antagonist in the future? I mean, yeah. If there's 12 of them, there's got to be at least one that turned bad. I'm curious to know what Mishima, like, size-wise, what he wants to do with Eden Zero. Like, how big is he going to make the series? Like, how much is he going to spread out the, just like, spread out the arcs? Because now we're going into stuff with Poseidon Arrow. We still have other Erasion saves. Now we're starting to finally introduce the, like, information about the Heavenly Knights. Seahart is the final villain of Black Clover. I mean, just the idea of this super talented wizard who can do different magics, and it's Black Clover's is more in the style of being born in this magic world, whereas, or because even regardless of the character, you are born into a world where everyone, for the most part, is magic, and magic is more of a staple of your life. Whereas, like, the idea of someone like Merlin and more traditional magic, because I think more traditional style like wizardry and magic is more of like what Mishima does, where it's done in like an RPG style to where you can learn magic, but not everyone has magic. But where Black Clover, you're born with magic. You are born with selective magic, and it can kind of branch out and evolve with different variations of ways to implement it, but you still have your attribute from the start. Whereas Fairy Tail, you can learn different magics. As long as you can figure out how it works and practice it and get good at it, then you can have another, you know, you can continuously have more magic. You're not bound to just one. Rex and Naruto. Natsu and Naruto are planetary, don't even at me. So, I mean, why don't you know what I'm talking about? I never disagreed with... I mean, Natsu's got the hacks. Naruto has it way more casually, but, like, endgame Natsu looks like it's going to be way bigger. So what, Dante fucks with Noel in front of Asta while Lucifer holds him down. I mean, you're gonna have Asta... Oh, do you mean, like, oh, like, actually fucks... Okay, it's not gonna happen. This isn't Berserk. So he can use space magic to go to Eden Zero. I mean, his space magic, like, he's got some of the spells, but his is more like they are just spells he has, whereas, like, Jalal's is primarily themed off of Heavenly Body magic. Homura versus Hermit. I mean, Hermit can't do anything to Homura, can she? Because, like, her hacking, what does she have to hack? What does she have to do, like, her whole main primary ability on Homura? Homora's just going to go up and slash her. Selene has the feminist... No, I mean, Selene has the Selene agenda. That's the thing. Selene's thing is whatever pleases Selene. And she's willing to go to any length she has to for her own enjoyment and for her own accomplishments. Oh, Willie's the guy that Aaron killed. That was a weird name to give, like, a pretty important character in a serious series. Like, something like, when I hear Willie, I just think of Willy Wonka. Genesis versus Ashura? Like, who do you mean, like, Genesis? I mean, like the character from Heroes? I mean, he's got full creation. He can just do whatever. And then the only reason they were able to beat him was because they weakened, like, where he draws his powers from. It's not like they straight defeated him in a fair fight. Okay, I mean, like, I was gonna say like a straight one-on-one, but it's like they weren't one-on-one and they didn't care. It was like, we have to stop this guy at any means necessary. Oh no, you're not too late. I'm only like 15 minutes in. Yeah, Selene's your goddess, man. I really like Selene too. I'm a big fan of Selene because Irene was along that line, but Irene wasn't the primary villain. Like, she was still a minion of Zareth, whereas Selene is the head. She's the primary villain of this arc, and I am extremely excited to see how she plays out because she's been very active, and I like that a lot. I really like how much she just is already participating in the arc, and she's already getting her hands, like, active in events to come. So Selene in general, on top of that, like what we know about her personality and what she's doing and everything she's kind of tied to, I really like Selene. Between Jalal, Seek, and Justice, who has the best rope? I really like Jalal, but I think Justice is gonna have a better, like, outright outfits because one, he's got the blue and white hair. White hair is always just really cool to see on a character. And then his outfits are actually being really good in his normal military, like, wear. And then the one that we saw him go into on Forestra with that, like, cool black. And I would imagine black and gold. And my assumption is black, gold, and white or something. I wonder what it's going to... Actually, there'll probably be a little bit of blue in there, knowing Mishima with, like, this character. But either way, I would guess it's going to be Justice, just because he's got, like, more set uniforms. I do really like Jalal's, though, when he's got that wizard robe setup that he had after the time skip with crime sorcery. I really like his outfit too. Rex, please confirm that Sukuna puts Gojo in a bottom. I assume he does. I do think that Sukuna would win. The only thing right now is we don't know what, like, all-out Sukuna can do. And the one thing about Sukuna that is obviously a big factor in going after Satoru Gojo is his hacks. But I think with the explanation of what his expansion does, I'm pretty sure he'd be able to cut through it. The question is, would he be able to deal with the other abilities that Gojo has? And it's believable, and I think he will. It just hasn't been fully shown. I do agree that in the idea of narratively and with all the powers, like the level of hype he should have, I do think Sukuna is stronger. But I think it would be like a just by the skin of his teeth match. Like, he would have to go all out to beat Satoru. I don't think it would just be like he just instantly beats him. Jura versus Julius? Oh, Julius, easily. Julius is way more powerful than Jura, and Jura doesn't have any hacks. And that's really an important thing when you get to upper members of Black Clover and Fairy Tail, and even like also like Seven Elite Sins and stuff. And a lot of these theories. You have to have good hacks. Because regardless of straight raw power, these guys are going to always have some crazy abilities to show that, oh yeah, this is why they're above this other guy, you know, in wizardry. And the more complex generally comes with higher power levels as they go up in their respective series. And Jura doesn't have any. He's physical strength, defense, and technique, whereas Julius is hacks across the board. And Julius's hacks can kill Jura so easily. Metal Shadow versus Red Lightning. Oh, the Iron Shadow. I really like the Red Lightning just because it has multiple components to it. It's just its definition and like how it works. It makes it really badass. Let me see. You have any ideas for what Holy Easy Thirst? I assume she's a healer. I just kind of believe that she's going to have something similar to what Ivory has, but done in a different direction, maybe different style. Imagine if one of Gajon Levy's kids had Solid Magic, Dragon Slayer. I think it should be cool if he had both, and it was like 2 Dragon Slayers that also had solid script. I imagine, oh my god, I always forget his name. Is it Yomazu, I think was his name, the samurai, or was it Kawazu or Kamazu from Grimoire Heart? Like how he had solid script on his sword. Like imagine like metal Dragon Slayers who are drawing their letters on them, or even if you kind of do maybe like take the concepts and have like an ink Dragon Slayer, maybe make them closer to 5th gen style where they're weird, and then it's like they're making letters with their Dragon Slaying magic. I don't know, because we don't know exactly what like this kind of direction Mishima's going to go with their children. If they're going to essentially just be their powers merged, are they going to try and do their own thing? Because like Makarov to Ivan to Laxus, their magics are nothing alike in what they primarily use. Like Makarov has giant magic, Ivan has the Shikigami magic, Laxus primarily is just lightning and has a lightning Dragon Slayer. We don't have anything from the standpoint where it continuously runs in a line. Like even the Strausses, theirs stems in Takeover, but you have Animal Soul, Beast Soul, and then Satan Soul. Like there's a large gap between those, and they only learn Takeover because like Mira Jane pretty much had Takeover naturally. Then roll over Julius. I don't know about that, my guy. GMG Wendy versus Charmy. Charmy should win. Like Wendy didn't start getting really crazy in like the level of utility she had until around until closer to Alvarez, when she was like matching Irene. The thing that made Wendy so dangerous when like as an enchanter heavily was in like Alvarez, when she could cure stuff like even in your brain, she could cure like status effects and stuff to that degree, but also she can just zero out buffs. And like in Black Clover, she would be scary because any reinforcement magic do 0. It's reverses, or it's not even reverse, it's just zeroed out. You don't get it anymore. You can recast it, but she can just recast do 0 again. And on top of that, she has like stuff like Separation Enchantment now. She's got self buffs. Like Wendy is actually really strong in just the concept of what she can do with her enchanting at this point. Like prior to like even in the Grand Magic games, for the most part, it was like she just had Dragon Slaying magic, with high levels of really good utility in being able to pretty much just consume large quantities of air and then get magic and stamina back. But her enchants are mostly just attack and defense speed buffs, nothing that crazy. And once she got her raise, when she can cure like poisons and certain status effects, that was good. But she wasn't nearly as much of a force that was actually just outright dangerous when you put her out there as like when she had like do 0 and being able to cure diseases and viruses and stuff. Tabata killed half of the Golden Dawn, like, when this arc started. Like, he's already set a really serious tone. It really depends on where he carries this. Just because I think I think there's going to be a couple devils that escape. And it's not like, and not ones that they get out and then, like, they just take down. I think there's going to be at least a few that get out and just get out of the whole area and just say, screw this, I'm not being a part of this. And maybe try and figure out a way for them to benefit over Lucifaro. You haven't seen Full Gojo? Yeah, but, like, Full Gojo, Satoru, we've seen a fairly good amount to know what he's capable of. And, like, we can kind of just scale up to a degree, like, he's more powerful than he is. But we haven't seen the full extent of what Satoru's Sukuna's strength leads out to. Oh, Faith has joined. Let me unmute myself. Hello. Let me turn my music down a little. Turn Faith up. I don't know if he's. I think it's pretty well up in the chat. How's it going?
Going alright. I just finished another assignment for school, so I can pop in now while I do other stuff.
Good. Yeah, people were saying it was a good thing. It was there to hype up the Zeref in your stream. I already told him to check it out. Go look over at Faith stuff. Did you say we're doing Protagonist next week, or is that just a plan somewhere along the line?
I'm either doing no. So Sunday will probably be a Black Clover dedicated stream, and then Saturday is gonna be character. So it doesn't even have to be protagonist. Characters. That way we can talk about Sinbad, because Sinbad's technically not the protagonist. So
it's a good opportunity to ask the chat of any characters that they might want to see in your stream. I'm gonna put Laxus as who I probably want to talk. Laxus or Jalal, I think, is my hype.
I mean, we can put.
I haven't fully decided, but I think Laxus is who I'm gonna go for.
We could just start putting names. It's fine. And this probably would. We probably could. We'll make this a manga spoiler stream. We'll make this a manga spoiler stream. So Alexis, Aaron, Sinbad, Lelouch are 4. Right off.
Man. So yeah, but I was talking also about the upcoming stuff with in like Black Clover. We get the officials tomorrow. I wonder if there's going to be anything in the officials that allude to what Morris's magic is.
I don't think so. I mean, I think at this point we all know that this is how he did what he did for the Diamond Kingdom. When it comes to Mars, I brought up that point that he's connected to. I feel like there's similarities between him and Asa's mom in the stream. That's why I was like, yo, Jay, blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So I do think there might be a connection between him and his mom, but I don't think Morris is Asa's dad at all.
That'll be such a weird twist, but at the same time, I really want Quan to make that video. I want to see Quan's theory.
Yeah, I mean that is interesting. I mean, I'll never make a theory that I don't slightly believe in. That's just me. But it should be funny.
I mean, it could work because Tabata. The one thing that it was said is for some reason Morris losing sight granted him something else. So there's something in there that I think Tabata is doing with someone being born without X somehow benefits somehow with something else.
Yeah,
as
that
a
translation
thing.
will be important because it was kind of weird how the unofficials translated the blind and then devil magic. Like that was weirdly translated, so that'll be important. But I mean, sure, I don't know. I don't think. For one, why would Lashetta sleep with him? And like, I don't know.
She's poor. Maybe she's just trying to get ahead in life.
Is she really poor, or
she lived in a shed?
Yeah, is she poor or she's an outcast? There's a difference in my opinion.
She didn't seem like she was from some prestigious family or anything up there.
She doesn't even have to be prestigious, but I don't think she's necessarily like a peasant. I think she's just an outcast.
I don't know, man.
Because her magic, she can't be near anybody, so she literally isolates herself.
Yeah, which probably can't work.
Yeah,
No
I
job.
mean, I'm not saying she isn't poor, but I think there's a difference between being a peasant, being born a peasant, and becoming an outcast in your own society.
I don't know. I feel like it's just following the style and like keeping her like way out in the boonies, just like Tabata's been up to. Plus, I think it would fit more into keeping Asta like way to the bottom if she's also a peasant.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't really keep him on the bottom if his dad is Morris.
Well, Morris, it depends entirely how it's handled. If like being just Morris's son does something special versus like if being Morris's son made it worse.
I mean, it seems obvious that if Morris and Lashetta are related, then that the magic that they have comes from a very unique bloodline. So Asa is gonna be special regardless.
That all lines in the whole like question about like why he has the extra horns too.
Oh, yeah, that could definitely be a possibility as well.
Tabata
Because
is playing some weird games in this, and I really want to see how it plays out.
I mean, because like the thing with Asta, right? Asta is a character that although anti-magic is very powerful and whatnot, he can't rely solely on Liabi to be his crutch, right? So eventually he has to get something. Like we see Shonen protagonists always get something of their own that's completely theirs. Anti-magic is not completely Asta's, so.
Well, I think Asta's thing will be getting his own sword. Whenever we like get to like where the swords came from.
Oh, I mean, if you get to even having an ultimate magic weapon will be.
Because it's kind of like she's a Rave Master. It's kind of like how eventually Haru got his own sword. Because the other ones, it's similar to like what Asa. He can use all these, but getting one specifically suited to him.
But then he's still relying on anti-magic though. Like my thing is like in Naruto, yes, Naruto had the Nine Tails, but at one point he had power that equaled or surpassed Nine Tails at some point with the Sage mode.
Well, Asa's thing is his swordsmanship technique, because that was pretty much like the gap between him and Leapy. Is Leapy was just reliant on anti-magic, and Asa just beat him purely in technique. Hello, Spider.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, just because he's a great swordsman in a magical world, if you take out anti-magic, what is Asta? Like, he would be decent, but he ain't OP. He ain't, like, one of the strongest.
I don't know. Do you think he's gonna get, like, a separate power?
I think if his lineage...
Odd twist.
If Morris and Lashetta are related, then Asa's lineage is special. So, not that he's gonna get it... It's just, like, his lineage will be different. And I'm sure he will have his own thing. I mean, but that's only if they're really going to expand on Lashetta, why Lashetta is able to do what she did, and if her lineage is actually special. That's where it comes from. If it's not special, if it's just another random person who just had a weird magic, then I guess never mind. But it doesn't really make sense. But like Henry, it was a curse. Everybody who had problems were like either cursed or too powerful for their own good. So it wouldn't really make sense if Lashetta is just a nobody.
I don't know. Hello. What, Black Clover? Here's another guy here, and you guys got 2 Attack on Titan guys for this. I can't let this chat happen.
Attack on Titan is goated.
We can talk about Clover.
Come on, this Invincible series coming up. I don't know nothing about it. I'm gonna watch the hell out of this.
Invincible? I've heard something about Invincible. I don't know anything about it.
It's well, it was originally a comic book series. It's by the same creator of The Walking Dead.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I don't really like The Walking Dead, so I don't really care.
Well, from what I understand, the comic is very different from the TV show. I don't know if you've read the comics.
No, I didn't read the comics. I mean, I like zombie series for the most part if they're done well. because there's always a lot of potential with Armageddon, and then these creatures. Like you have to survive on a pretty much apocalyptic world. Bonus, there's human-eating monsters. So pretty cool.
If only they were dragons, man.
The problem with the Walking Dead show is that they just went too original and changed too much after a certain season.
Oh, yeah,
What point does it shift?
I stopped watching.
What point? Well, for one, Rick and Carl don't get removed from the series like they did in the show.
Rough. See, I don't know these
Carl's,
things.
Well, because the Walking Dead comic ended last year, like with 193 chapters, as you manga fans would call it, and then that's it. It's over. Carl survived all the way to the end. Rick died in the second last issue.
I didn't even know it ended.
Yeah, it was a pretty big deal because he didn't actually announce it was ending. He made fake solicits and fake covers and everything. And then once issue 193 dropped, boom, he said, that's it, it's over.
Damn. I had no idea. When did you say this was? Like, I didn't even hear about this.
Last year.
I don't remember this at all.
Or late 2019, something like it. It was early 2020, late 2019.
Telling says hello, Spider.
Oh.
See you in the chat. See, you've got fans.
Well, yeah, he's a fellow Aussie.
That is true. There's a lot of Australians in my my weeb circle. Because so is not Tusk. Is it Tusk? I think he's also Australian. No, who am I thinking of?
Chris?
No, there's another guy who's Australian. I'm trying to remember exactly. Oh, Byron is Australian.
Byron?
The other My Hero big guy. It's a lot of Australians adjacent to me.
I think you chase us.
I like everybody, so I don't discriminate. I know, nicest guy. Except for against people who aren't duelists. Duelists are the top priority of grouping.
Hey, I've read and watched Yu-Gi-Oh!
You only read the original. You haven't even got the 5Ds. One of these days.
Yeah.
One of these days, the 5Ds hype. GX2.
Well, obviously GX, it's the next part.
Exactly. Duelist is a lifestyle. But it's the hype lifestyle. I gotta act Quan and get Quan. Oh, intensely violent card game. That's the best part. And he made Kaiba.
Kaiba's the best character.
The badass. Speaking of which, what do you think is gonna happen with Dragon Ball now giving like a brand new form that like is lining up for Vegeta? I think that they're gonna be nice to Vegeta in this next coming arc, or are they gonna beat him up again?
Well, the last arc was pretty great for his character, and they wouldn't have won without him.
Yes, but as is tradition, Kaiba unfortunately pointed at himself and got beaten up. Every time he does that.
I'm not caught up with the
Vegeta.
Dragon Ball series, so I'm not gonna go deep into the writing of Vegeta, but I know generally what's going on.
You should read the news chapter. It was really good. I thought it was a really good setup.
I saw one page. The reason why Vegeta is trending. I saw that.
He's pretty interesting. He's like a very different type of Dragon Ball character, considering he's literally having PTSD nightmares about the Saiyans destroying his home.
He's cool.
I
like
that
him.
Looks like BoJack.
Yes, he kind of looks like a small BoJack. He doesn't have the same face.
Yeah, but he looks like he still resembles BoJack for sure. So, I mean, yeah, I'm probably not gonna read it. I'm probably just gonna wait until the anime comes back.
That's in like 30 years. What are you doing?
Well,
I'll say when, well, real quick, I'll say this. When Broly comes back in the story, I'll start reading it. How about that?
He might this arc, considering it's about the past history of the Saiyans and stuff. Frieza's definitely going to be in this arc.
Good. I'm ready to see Frieza get beaten up.
No, I don't want to see a backstory. I want to see Broly outright just come back.
Oh yeah, I know
Both.
it. I know what you meant, but what I'm saying is the whole point of this arc is the sins of the Saiyans past coming back to haunt them.
That's cool, but I don't see any way they're gonna be able to fight against Goku and Vegeta. So I think this is kind of, I don't know.
Well,
What,
that's
Broly?
the point.
Or Broly, technically.
Well,
yeah.
we don't know anything about what this dude is gonna do, but it seems like
Well,
he's gonna.
he's-
I mean,
they
unless
did-
he's stronger than Beerus, then
That's what they're hyping him up. We just don't. He's being grouped up. Either him or this will be the event that turns Goku into the strongest. Like,
I mean, like, how many characters can you have in the same universe that's stronger than Beerus? Like that. At that point, it doesn't make any sense.
Other than the angels, not really.
because they've already.
Yeah, so
Well, they've already shown that like Goku still hasn't gotten up to Whis yet at all.
He's still at the bottom of the barrel with Ultra Instinct.
He just got it. He's only able to
Yeah, but,
maintain
like,
for a
at-
short period of time too.
still, he
Well, they
always
said
has
he's-
that. He still has it. Like, if
Yeah, but
anything,
he's not at the
if
top
as
yet.
the Question ever called.
This is
No,
like
no,
the,
that's fine. He's not the top, but like, how many characters are you just gonna keep on showing that's just new in the?
Well, they actually outright stated that Renault was not as strong as them because he says, like, I'll get strong enough to be able to kill Frieza.
yeah, we're gonna see.
Is it-
This is gonna be how this guy becomes a big deal instead of just
So
I'm a
this
big
guy's
deal that just
Instead of
comes
get
back.
strong enough to beat Namek Frieza.
We don't
Is
know
that what
yet.
we're talking about?
We have no
I mean, I'm
idea what
guessing that's
exactly
what
his
he's
name is.
talking
We don't know much because all he said is because all we've seen of him, he wanted, like, his desire was to always kill Frieza and the Saiyans because of what they did to his home world. But then he finds out Frieza's alive, and then he vows he'll become as strong as Frieza. Because they straight up said he would have no chance currently.
Yeah, because like his perception of Frieza was Namek Frieza, and that Frieza versus this current Frieza is a huge gap. So he's
I'm
gonna have to
aware.
overcome that huge gap.
Well, I
So-
think how he's gonna do it is through the android. That one that
Oh,
he
he's gonna
sold.
become an android. All right.
No, there
No,
was an
there's,
android in the last arc that could copy abilities just by touching them, and he even absorbed Miras's and Moro's powers. So if he sold that android, but if he goes back and seals it back and uses it, he could just basically overcome that massive gap already.
So they're gonna use an android to make him strong. I guess.
Sort of. You'd have to read it to understand.
It seems pretty straightforward. But
The best way to compare it to is, like, this thing is like Rogue from the X-Men. It touches you and has your powers.
it's still an android, regardless. It was still
Yeah, but the android stopped being robots when we got the cell and became like artificial, weird genetic creatures.
I mean,
Even
that's
the androids in the Android Saga weren't even actual androids, they were cyborgs.
'Cause this is
Except for
like-
16.
This
I
is
mean,
this
the
weird
Except for
thing that will
16.
continuously steal pretty much copy other people's powers and keep growing. It's
I
like
mean, that's
what is
baby
it called?
basically. But like
Well, that
Canon
people
baby
theorize this could be
worked
how
out.
canon
baby could
baby,
become
that's what it
canon.
sounds like.
probably
Well,
what's
that's-
actually.
People who theorize this thing will become baby over time.
I'm okay with that entirely.
Baby is a good villain, to be fair. So I mean, good villain in Dragon Ball standards. But I'll say having a character like that come is fine, but having a character like that come and then have this other character just take his powers, that's kind of
Well, Moro kind of already did that in the final of the last arc. He literally ate it.
oh well. That's very anticlimactic.
I mean, it's just like this really
You'd
high
have to
potential
read it to
thing
understand
that
it
this powerful
was.
dude steals.
It was handled fine. And when they bring the anime back, it's gonna be long because the Moro arc is like the second longest Dragon Ball arc in history. It's like only behind the Cell Saga or something.
Good. A lot of content for Dragon Ball fans.
You're gonna have to wait like
As
30
lo-
years though to get it.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
it went for like 2.5
I'm
years.
not gonna like. The only time I was hyped for Dragon Ball really was the Super Broly movie. I'm like, this is something I probably will see like casually.
I like this current arc just because it's like it's making advancements with stuff that has been in the series forever and barely ever explored.
Well, that's what a lot of people have praised the Moro arc for, because it heavily connected to both the Buu saga and the Frieza saga and expanded on stuff that hasn't been touched on for a while.
Yeah, I'd rather do that than because I didn't like the tournaments because it was literally just tournament and then another tournament.
There's like 3 tournaments back.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I like this. I think it's just good.
I like tournament arc.
The Moro arc was by far the best Dragon Ball Super thing besides the Broly film and Battle of Gods, but who knows, this arc has the most potential out of any Dragon Ball arc if they handle it pretty well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't have any qualms with it. Obviously, I have qualms with the Goku part that I found out about. But other
Which
than that,
Goku part?
the big Goku part that everybody was pissed about.
Oh, the Susanoo Goku.
I think that was just a one-off. How he got it was fine. It's just how it.
It was just weird to see Goku in a big energy construct.
Yeah, it
It's so
was.
different
It's not
than
that
the
the
way we
setup to
saw it.
how he got it was bad, because that was handled fine. It's just
Well,
like what happened was
before-
weird.
Before even that, the fact that he gave the dude a senzu bean, right? He literally did the exact same thing he did with Cell.
He didn't. He. A lot of people saw the leaks and assumed the thing. He only gave it to him because he said, he's like, if you want to live, I'll let you live, but you're going straight back to your prison. If not, I'll kill you right now. And he gave him the sensu bean as a show of faith. He said, I'll let you live.
No, that's
The
still
problem
bullshit. That's not a good reason. You do not give the villain a way to heal himself. That doesn't
Goku's
make
not
any-
the smartest guy though.
Yeah, I
Oh,
agree.
No, he gave him the sensu bean, and Mora's like, yeah, no, punches him, it literally shatters his hands and it doesn't do anything. So, he was still no threat. He only became a threat once he found the gem.
Goku should have still not. Goku shouldn't even be offered, but I know Goku's an idiot, so there's not really much I can.
He's an idiot, but he's smarter than people give him credit for.
I don't know. He has good fighting instinct. That's about it.
He cares about a lot of people too, despite the ridiculous amounts of memes.
Yeah.
I
don't
only
really
get annoyed that he lets
associate caring
Frieza
with
run
intelligence.
around and do Frieza things.
Oh, yeah, he could have like.
We
It's
should-
not like
should
Frieza's gonna
keep
turn
Frieza.
over a new leaf and be a good guy. Frieza is literally gonna go terrorize other people.
Frieza just
Other
goes around, yeah, he
races.
just goes around. He just goes around enslaving planets.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
Well,
it's
he
cool.
hasn't
You helped
done
me with that
anything
fighting.
yet. He hasn't
Are
done
you
anything
sure?
yet.
From what we
Nah,
know.
I don't think he. Nothing that we know of. I think he's just biding his time.
Like,
I
he
don't
like
know. I
immediately
feel like
wanted
he's
to
still
like,
doing stuff, but
he
I
wanted to
feel like he's still
have
doing
Broly
stuff, but it
like
hasn't been written.
destroy Earth.
Other
Yeah,
than
but-
Broly, he hasn't done anything really.
I bet he already has slaves. He just hasn't been written about.
Not yet. Oh, we'll find out because we're gonna see him sooner or later.
I hope we see him get his face kicked in. It's gonna be nice.
Hey, maybe we're gonna see the cooler transformation, and that's gonna be canon.
I hope so.
Either
Bring-
that or
bring
they'll
Cooler
actually
in.
bring in Cooler.
Do it. I need to see
Well,
Cooler.
Cooler's-
He should be around
Why
somewhere.
would Cooler be around though? He wouldn't. I mean, technically, if the movie's not canon, he wouldn't be dead. But
Yeah.
would he be dead?
No, because if he hasn't participated in the story, he just exists somewhere. He could just not go with any stuff in the movie.
I mean, man's father and his brother got killed, and he just
He's
like,
not gonna care.
didn't
They don't seem to care
investigate-
about each other at all.
But he didn't investigate the person that was strong enough to kill his brother and his father. Like,
He doesn't care.
that's kind of weird. Yes, he cares about people who are strong.
He doesn't care about that guy though. He doesn't care about seeing who killed.
All
his
they
brother.
have to
He'd
do is
just be
rework.
like,
If they do make any more characters, like non-canon characters, canon, they'll just rework them like they did Broly.
no, all they have to do is say that he's been out there training. He doesn't care about finding out about this guy until he's ready to kill him. And I mean, like how dumb strong Frieza got in 3 months. Imagine if Cooler's been out there training this whole time.
But Frieza
It was 6 months, but yeah.
Yeah.
Frieza's supposed to be like a prodigy, though.
I mean, so was Cooler. Cooler was stronger than Frieza until like he got his golden stuff.
Cool. Frieza never trained. And then
I forgot the reason why I stopped coming on this chat.
What? We're just talking about Cooler.
No, not you. Not you. Certain people I don't like in the chat. But we'll figure that out. We'll leave that. Anyway.
I will say Cooler did. I feel like Cooler would be a person that trains, whereas Frieza never trained, and Frieza was still comparable. Cooler got a transformation to surpass Frieza eventually.
I think
we'll just have to wait.
Just say like, you can honestly make it make so much sense by just having Cooler say, "I didn't give a shit to find out," because we know how like their whole species are. He wouldn't have cared, and it's not surprising if he's that much of a jerk considering his race.
All we'll have to say on this regarding any non-canon characters that'll get reworked and made canon later on. I mean, Toriyama has said he's open for it after Broly, considering how much fun he had doing it, and Toritaro has stated multiple times he likes Baby and Super Saiyan 4 and would possibly bring them in over time. Well, they could bring in...
I think Super Saiyan 4 is kind of a no-brainer. I mean, we saw the Broly connection.
They'll just have to... They'll have to rename it and obviously amp it up.
Dude, I think they could just name it, I mean, technically, yeah, I mean, because Broly doesn't go by the traditional Super Saiyan sense, so they probably would have to rename it. And it could be a transformation that, obviously, the rest of the Saiyans that we know of can't receive God, like, powers unless they train with Beerus and Whis. So, I mean, Gohan, hey, you never know, Gohan can get that.
Well, Gohan and Piccolo have been built back up on the Moro arc since they got 2 pretty big fight scenes in it.
I mean, I can't see how far Piccolo could ever go. He just absorbs his people and gets stronger.
Well, yeah, I think...
How many Namekians are left? Is it just Dende? Other than Piccolo?
The Namekians?
Oh wait, they brought their whole planet back, didn't they?
Yeah.
The whole point of the Moro arc was Vegeta using the Dragon Balls to resurrect the people that Moro killed. It was part of his, like, he felt guilty because he once slaughtered all these people. It was the same village that he killed all those years ago.
Yeah, Vegeta is a goat. Best character in the series.
They could use that and then just they'll have Piccolo. We need you to absorb these guys again.
All right, I need a little.
The super Namekian.
Super Namekian 2.
I think a lot of Gohan and Piccolo's fights going forward are going to be tag team fights because like it was basically 2-on-1 and they like combine their moves and stuff.
I wouldn't like that. Gohan definitely needs to start showing some actual like. He should not be comparable to Piccolo.
Well, he's not. Well, like I said, they had 2 big tag team fights where they both fought this one guy together, and he got a new move. He can do shields and stuff now. Although he only used it once.
Gohan Super Saiyan 3.
Just make Ultimate
the thing
Gohan
is,
cooler and give him
in the manga, he said he doesn't want to use Super Saiyan anymore, and he hasn't.
I don't care what he wants.
They should just train, get him Ultra Instinct in the Mystic form, and then have that.
Ultra Instinct, Mystic form. I mean, he would have to get God training, and I don't
he could do it.
God training. I feel like if anything, Gohan would get the same transformation Broly would get. So I mean, that's.
I mean, I'm okay with that too, as long as it's cool. Gohan hasn't been cool in a long time.
Yeah, I mean, Gohan always had that crazy amount of raw power. Just not to the extent of Broly, but.
I mean, he did defeat, what's her name? Oh, well, nah, not really defeat, they knocked each other out at the same time.
Oh, Kale or whatever?
Kefla.
Yeah. That was weird in the manga. Like they just had like.
Well, because
Gohan just juiced up.
in the manga,
Stupid.
Caulifla didn't get Super Saiyan 2, like that whole tingling back thing. That never happened in the manga. So she was only at SS1.
Man.
Ooh, Kale?
No, Caulifla. You know how
Oh,
in the
Caulifla.
anime, yeah,
No, no, I
Caulifla.
know
You know
what
how in the
Yeah.
anime she got Super Saiyan 1 from what's his name? I forget his name. Kaba. Kaba taught her Super Saiyan 1, and then in the anime, Goku taught her Super Saiyan 2, but in the manga that doesn't happen. The Goku bit.
The people didn't like that they just got Super Saiyan. It was like, super easy. From a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, Goten and Trunks both got it off panel.
Well, there's the there's this
Yeah,
off panel.
that-
That's
yeah.
they were sons of two Super Saiyans.
Or even still, the Buu arc went back to more of the goofier side of early Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but Super Saiyan is not hereditary. Just because you were born.
Oh yeah, but
It's
it was
something you would-
easier like as they went though. I always assumed it's because Goku and Vegeta achieved Super Saiyan and their kids were born after that.
Well,
It's more
if
significant.
you think about it,
Because-
Goku was probably in Super Saiyan when Goten was conceived, so...
Yeah, I mean, I
Ah.
always thought that because they were part human, that their emotions go wild. Their emotions are a little bit more effective, so that's why they can go Super Saiyan easier.
That makes sense.
They're
Oh
part
shit,
human.
Rex, you're catching up in the Discord ranks.
I'm going to have to defeat you at some of these days. I need you to be distracted one day. Oh yeah, actually, it's a good opportunity to. I'll have to post a link to the Discord for everybody in the chat. For anybody that wants to join the Discord, I will post it.
You know what? Let me go to the chat so you can make me a mod.
I think you're already a mod.
I do.
Or do you mean in the
I
Discord
do.
or in the stream chat?
In
Oh.
your stream.
Oh, I thought you already were.
Cause I just recently subscribed with my main channel. Usually I
Wow.
don't subscribe to anime. Let me
Cruelty.
finish. Usually I don't subscribe to anime channels on my main channel, but I just, I started.
You better not let You better not let Josuke find that out.
No.
This
I
is such an
subscribe to
example
everybody.
for him to do the Josuke startup skit or hit. He just starts getting all hyped up.
So what do
I
you think?
started doing it though. I
Okay.
subscribe to everybody with my main
Always
channel.
subscribe to the homies.
Rex, what do you think of Naruto possibly passing away in the latest chapter?
I'll be so. I think it'll be really weird to do it so
Okay.
quietly.
Boruto, I low key care about Boruto to the point where when I eventually read it, I
As a
actually want it.
character in the manga, he's actually come quite a long way. As a person, like he's
You're talking about
changed.
Boruto.
Like the character Boruto.
Yeah, I still don't like them.
Like the kid's pretty hardcore. Like he literally ripped off his own horn power up, and that's basically like ripping off a part of your own skull.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'll probably read Boruto somewhere far down the line. Far.
Mhm.
You have Toriko to read.
Maybe after the
Toriko.
time skip. I'll
Well,
read
that
Toriko
would-
right now.
That could be coming up soon, considering that the
Yeah.
arc's about to wrap up. And like,
Yeah.
Ishiki's dead. They confirmed that that's.
What?
Yeah, they confirmed Ishiki was dead.
He was. I'm really weird if we're gonna ever get more lore just on their race
The
out in
Otsukis.
space.
The Otsukis.
Like, yeah, do they have like a king? Or is there like some leader?
Oh, the anime implied they did.
That'd be really cool to see. Space Chakra Man King.
Well,
It's a-
Ishiki was implied.
it's actually
Ishiki's
Hachimaru,
horn was
and it's
literally a crown.
They'll make it.
Ishiki's horn was literally a crown.
That was a crown?
Well, like, it wrapped around his head like a crown.
I always thought it was just a weird horn. They'll have it be Hachimaru. Hachimaru will be the secret king of the Ototsukis. That's how Kishimoto will get revenge for Samurai 8.
Ha!
That'd be interesting. See, he said that they were planning on doing an anime episode for Boruto where all the Samurai 8 characters get involved. I have no idea how he's possibly gonna work that into the story. Unless just outright not canon at all.
It'll probably be like the Mecha Naruto episode from Shippuden, which was just made to promote the video game.
That'd be so weird if he makes it canon, though. Hey guys, there's these space samurai. They can like start out fairly capable of like wiping out planets.
It's
Actually,
his
it'd probably
world.
fit in.
It's his universe, as if he wants to do it.
Well, it does fit in already with power levels, so just keep it.
Are y'all still talking about Boruto?
Oh, I mean, we're talking about Samurai 8.
Well, a bit of both. We're talking about both.
Did you see that they were planning on doing a crossover in Boruto? They haven't heard anything about it since then, but they want to have that Samurai 8
done it in
Boruto crossover.
Yeah.
They should just do a crossover of Boruto and Burn the Witch.
How would you even possibly work that together?
No, it could be one of those specials. You know how they did it for Toriko, One Piece, and Dragon Ball?
They did it for Dragon Ball.
I'd watch
One
it, but it'd
Piece
be
as
so
well.
weird. The thing of we were talking about, like Samurai 8, though, is like, is Kushimoto going to try and make it canon to their world, or is it going to be like a...
Nah, he shouldn't do that. That'd be weird.
He might, though. I don't think he
If
cares.
he wants to do it, let him do it.
Nah,
I think he'll do it.
We want to read good stuff. I don't want to read.
I mean,
BS.
think about it. The Ototsukis are an alien, a Japanese-ish alien race somewhere out in space.
Okay,
They're
but
all-
this is a ninja series. This ain't no space adventure.
They're,
Where we fight a bunch of aliens.
Kaguya
This isn't
is
Dragon
from a
Ball.
space alien race, though. The Ototsukis are from
This isn't-
space.
bro. If Kishimoto starts bringing more,
They're from space
species of-
already. That's where their
There
species
There was
are.
literally gigantic, like, city-sized demons in the first chapter.
But
okay,
like
it doesn't matter. We're
But
keeping
that-
it grounded.
we
We're
now
keeping it
know,
grounded.
like,
Yeah.
we know how the tree
No.
works. It's part of like how their species like absorbs energies from planets. Like,
No,
they're
no,
from
I
space.
didn't say. All right, that's fine. Otsutsuki space aliens, cool. But if they start bringing more species of space ninja aliens, then that's when it starts getting
no.
ridiculous. It turns
I don't
into
think
a
I-
totally different series. Like it turns from a
It did that when
series
it
about
introduced these
Naruto,
aliens in the first place.
about ninjutsu, genjutsu, taijutsu, ninjas, and all that stuff, to a series about freaking space aliens and bro, it just gets.
I mean, they did that when they introduced Kaguya. That was
No,
been-
I mean,
No, I
they
think
did
no. What
one
he means
thing-
is Rax doing other species.
I mean, I think it'll
other
just
than
be the
the
Otsutsuki.
Otsukis.
I think it'll just be the Otsutsuki.
Yeah, well,
No,
it's not
because
gonna go
you said-
further.
Yeah, you said the samurai introducing the samurai characters.
If he
would be basically
works
introducing
them
another
into
species.
somehow being part of the Otsutsuki or something.
Well, it doesn't look like it's gonna happen
no
either
idea.
way, so
Yeah,
there's
I'm
no
not saying I
point
have
in
no idea.
arguing over it. I mean, the anime's adapting the Owl arc right now, and then it's gonna start adapting the Kawaki arc.
Oh, Kawaki.
Well,
I'll
because
probably
they,
watch it sometime.
well, like, because they like released a trailer which has like animated Kawaki and Boruto's first meeting.
It's weird this all started out showing how far it goes. Still don't know what turns Kawaki evil. It's gonna be.
I wouldn't say evil, but
Man, if he's like
probably
wrecked the
more.
whole Leaf Village.
yeah, I know, but for all we know, he's done more than just that.
Tony, he's doing some evil stuff.
Oh, well, because maybe he's wrecked all the major villages, because he straight up said the age of the shinobi is over.
It's
My
gonna be
man,
really
the
weird.
savage. Hey, I mean, Kawaki's definitely seems like a character I'll be interested in.
His development and relationship with Boruto has been great. Like, they've really become close, like adopted brothers, like close.
I do
sort of
think
thing.
it's kind of weird though. Like, what's the point? Like, I thought
Oh, hello, Gene.
Mitsusuki's character was gonna be like Boruto's closest friend and whatever, and then he's created by Ultramaru, but then they introduce Kawaki. I mean, you also have Owabi and then Kawaki. But I just feel like you have a lot of characters.
Well, Kawaki's basically, well, because he was taking it, like, when they found him, they took him straight to Naruto, and Naruto saw a lot of himself in Kawaki, so he adopted him and kept an eye on him, and then then everything just exploded from there, pretty much.
Where do you think
'Cause
that what's the snake dude's name?
Mitsugi.
Orochimaru?
What do you think his whole thing is going to be? Because I also thought he was going to be Boruto's rival, and then lost that
manga
with
hasn't
Kawaki.
done
weird,
much.
bro.
The manga hasn't done much with him, but the anime, he's straight up got Sage mode.
He had Sage mode in the manga too.
Oh yeah, but he hasn't really used it.
That's
Because this
true.
whole arc, the whole arc for the last 2 years has been about Boruto, Kawaki, Naruto, and Ishiki, pretty much. It's just revolved around those four.
When am I going to review
I
Redo
feel
the
like
Healer?
it's
I'm
weird,
not
bro.
going to do reviews on Redo the Healer. No, thank you. Someone's asking Lord Hendrickson. I don't know if you guys saw that one. I don't want to review that.
Is that the harem one?
No, this one's it's a big revenge story, and this dude does like he does like a reset of events, and then he just wants to get revenge on everybody. It's really aggressive. It's like ReZero, wherever, like, it's just suffering, but it's just this dude torture porning people.
Oof.
Seems tough.
Yeah, I don't know what I would really talk about if I did reviews on it. Yeah, this dude fucked
Wait,
this other
didn't
chick.
you read
Oh.
that? Didn't you read that Dead Tube series once, Rex?
Yes, but I didn't do reviews on it. I gotta
Good.
catch up on DeadTube.
Oh,
Dead-
if you're still reading it.
I need to read more of it. Well, I mean, I can see that the idea of if you really wanted to read just some fucked up dark series, but I mean, like, I don't want to do reviews on it.
Yeah, I don't want to read that.
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, sometimes I can enjoy, but a series that is dark, but sometimes a little too much. Like, I couldn't even get past Goblin Slayer Chapter 1.
Man,
I can
Goblin
watch the
Slayer's
anime,
aggressive.
But after
It's
Chapter,
fun.
I couldn't even get past Chapter.
That's pretty tame in comparison, to be honest.
I like
I
that.
don't know.
Goblin
Raven-
Slayer's like is fun to
not
watch. So you
Raven,
just
Raven.
you see like this idea of
Fair
being in
enough,
this
fair
fantasy world
enough.
of how shitty it can
Fair
be.
enough.
I mean, the anime, and that was a tough watch too, but the manga is just a lot worse. And the same thing with Elfen Lee, but not really that bad, but she was way crazier in the manga. Or way
Yeah, there's a
more.
lot more blood. Women
Well, they
getting
always-
mutilated.
They have to tone shit down or either angle the camera so it doesn't quite show people's heads getting bitten off and shit like that in animes.
They just got to do a lens flare or make the blood white so it looks like milk. That's the strategy. Unless what they don't want to do is if it comes out their mouth, because then it just it just looks like cum. We don't need this. Poor Seven Deadly Sins.
Oh boy. So, how long till the next fairy tale?
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
What's today? Saturday? Just a few days. 3 days till next chapter. I'm hyped. Got that. We got chapters in the morning for Shonen Jump. We got Eden Zero that for like the next day. Then Fairy Tail. The Seven Deadly Sins sequel. It's gonna be a hype week. Got a lot going on.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna read the Seven Deadly Sins sequel on stream,
I'm
even
definitely
though
gonna
it's
read
like
it.
70 pages.
Oh, you can,
Character
I'm
on the
reading
cover.
through them up.
oh, yeah, you're reading it right
Character on
now.
the cover is kind of ugly, not gonna lie.
Have
I'm
they
reading
put-
through the first series.
Well, the official picture has that little kid with the Viking hat and the fox, though. You don't like that design?
Yeah.
You think that's an ugly design? It just looks like a short kid that's a Viking.
He looks kind of ugly.
What? He just looks like a little kid.
The thing on the Twitter I seen
Which one?
of his the promo photo, the promo cover page or whatever.
I'm gonna post it.
Um,
I'm gonna post this picture. Hang on.
He's ugly, bro. I mean, it is what it is.
You don't. I'm gonna post it in the chatter zone. You don't like this? You think this is an ugly design? It just looks like a little kid with a hat on.
No, I think it's an ugly kid.
This one? He's just got
Yeah,
green
he's
hair.
ugly.
What's wrong with this design?
Bro, he's
Yeah.
ugly. Sucks.
I
You're
think-
crazy.
It's probably the red nose.
But
There's
that's
a
just
red
the
nose,
shading.
the
He's not gonna have a
green
red
hair.
nose.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
If you said
Wait,
like people were making fun of Meliodas' kid looking weird, I agree. He looks silly, but like this kid looks fine.
Whose kid is it?
I don't know. I don't know
This
whose
is probably
kid this
Bond's
is.
kid because he kind of gives me like elf vibe, fairy vibe.
No,
No,
Bond's
yeah,
kid
fair.
looks completely different.
Plus, no.
You
Are you
see,
sure
Bond's
no,
kid looks.
Oh no, this is King's kid. King.
No,
This is King.
this can't be King's kid.
Look at the pet right next to him. It's
That's just a
definitely
fox.
King's kid.
But don't you think if it was
It-
King's
it
kid, it would
literally
look like
resembles-
King or Diana? It doesn't look anything like him.
This is definitely King's kid. I'm calling
It doesn't
bro.
look anything like
King
him.
All right, think about King's character. King's character always had a helmet that he was wearing. He has that fairy. He has green hair like King's best friend, and then
Why would his kid have his friend's hair color?
Bro, this is just it's just like
This has
symbolism.
zero
It's just
to do with
symbolism.
Because the fox, if it was the fox, wouldn't that be Bond's son? But it has no idea. Bond's son's
No,
like that
not
at
the
all.
fox. The dog. The dog King had.
That's a
King
fox.
had a pet. I know, but King had a pet dog. and
Ozlawful
this
was
guy had
like a
pet
big.
fox.
It was a big monster dog. These aren't even.
Hey,
remotely
we'll
similar.
see next week. We'll see next week.
None
when
of
I'm
this
right,
says.
and this is King.
None of this says King's kid at all.
I literally just named three.
You said he
things
wears a
that
hat. Your thing is he has a
Fox
helmet.
thinks it's King.
A helmet.
Fox thinks it's King's.
It doesn't look
I literally
anything like
named
King's
three
kid.
things why it reminds me of why I think it's King.
You don't think he would have like a weapon similar to King, or he'd have
Also,
like a
he
fairy
has
or
an
giant
orange
outfit?
cape. Like Diane always wears orange, bro. That's
That's just the color of his cape. That's so silly. That's
No,
like,
that's
oh, he's got green shoes. That's secretly Gon's son. He came over to the Seven Deadly Sins.
This is King's kid.
This
I'm
is
calling
not
it. I'm
King's
putting
kid.
him up.
It looks nothing like King. If this is King's kid, Diane's been out fucking other dudes.
If this is King's kid, then
If it's in this can't be. It
If
doesn't
this
look
is- no, if
anything
this
like
is
Have you seen
King's
the other
kid-
kids that have been shown? They look like they're kids. This looks. There's no character features. There's no characteristics of this dude's face.
If
that
this
says
is King's
King.
kid, you have to go.
There's no
on
hair
Twitter and
color.
say,
He doesn't have a
Mikasa-
similar face.
Mikasa is a good
His
female character.
design doesn't say giant or fairy at
Wait.
all.
Wait. What did Rex say on
Constantly
Twitter?
turning my head to- hang on.
No, if this is King's kid, Rax has to say on Twitter, Mikasa is actually a good female character.
Listen.
She's great.
that's
Wait,
fine.
Rax,
know,
have you
Rex
been
is
shit
great.
talking again?
I haven't said anything. This is long lore.
Rax,
Yeah.
Rax, agree to the bet. You're so confident this is not King's
Sure,
kid.
I don't
so
think
agree
this
to
is
the
his
bet.
son. I'll say it on Twitter if this is his son, but it's not. It doesn't look anything
Alright,
like him.
can't wait.
Like
Can't
look
wait,
here's
can't wait.
look at Bond's son. Like he's got the same hair color. He's got the same shape of eyes or the same color. He's got the same mischievous face.
This
That is Bond's son. Why would King's son look nothing like him?
I do.
Or not the
I
same
feel
hair
like
color. He's got
there's so much. There's just as many connections for both.
No.
I-
There's nothing.
think there's
You
just-
said his hair color is the same hair color as his friend.
Yeah, it's symbolism.
Why would he be born looking like his friend?
It's symbolism.
That's not how genetics work.
But it's a fictional story. Like,
If everybody else's kid looks like them except for Bond, that's gonna be except for King, that's
I
gonna be
mean,
alarming.
it's a weird example, but I mean, no fishman or merman in One Piece looks like their parents, so
Well, that's because they're themed after the fish, and genetically
Yeah,
doesn't
I
make
know.
sense. But
it's
I don't
not
think
meant to
that'll be the
make
case.
sense. Well, no, technically they say like, what was it? A shark could have like an octopus kid because there's an octopus somewhere in the line, or whatever.
Can't wait till King's son is shown and he actually
yeah,
looks like King.
I mean, there's a lot of situations in like fictional stories where someone's close friend dies, they have a kid, and it reminds them of his friend, and it's just symbolism. That's all it is.
I mean, I have a cousin who's like, her hair is completely like yellow blonde, like really, really blonde, and both of her parents are dark haired, so just because don't have to look like their parents.
I
so.
await this first chapter when somebody says, "Hey, you don't look like King at all." Just a reference. Oh, thank you. Good. It's gotta
Well,
wait.
I'm ready for you. I'm ready for you to praise me.
This is gonna be so. your logic on this is so weird that he has a
He'll
similar
praise
colored
her if
cape
she
and he
kills
also has a
Eren or
helmet.
dies with him.
My logic is not even weird. I literally have valid logic. You just don't.
No.
agree.
How does like having a pet mean king?
I literally, you're oversimplifying what I said though.
I think you're reaching though for an idea. It'd be too
I'm
weird.
not. I'm using symbolism to come up with a conclusion.
All right, we'll see this week.
We will. We will. I can't wait for you to tweet about Mikasa.
Ugh. Gross.
What, Rax?
Nothing.
That'd make me fly over there and strangle you.
I don't know what you mean. I have no idea what you mean, my guy.
Oh, wait, I won't have to. I'll just use the death note.
I have no idea. I have never even said anything rude about Mikasa once. You have no idea what you mean.
That's straight cap. You're straight capping.
You have no proof? Do you have
Not
any
the
photo
recent-
evidence?
I
Not the-
bet I can go to one of my streams and find solid.
That
evidence.
was
Really
a. I was set up. That was somebody
He-
else.
He hasn't.
Right.
He hasn't done it in his Discord or around me for a long time.
It was
I
somebody
mean,
else. I was framed.
Rax has gotten character development in the last few years.
What do you mean? I'm the
He's a lot
nicest.
more. You're the nicest, but you used to
Bro,
be pretty
You
aggressive.
literally think Mikasa is a dog.
She likes to
She's
smell
a stray
stuff.
dog, and she needs a leash.
She's really into smelling things. That's not my fault.
It's your fault for calling her a dog. That's
She
disrespectful.
shouldn't be smelling
Yes,
things.
I know, Tom. I'm on stream. Talking about. I'll come back talking.
But
Or
actually,
I think. You know, even though there's only 3 chapters left of Attack on Titan, like it's still so hard to predict how it's gonna end.
yeah, I've released 2 of my own theories about how Attack on Titan's gonna end on my channel, and people thought both were pretty interesting. A lot of people like a certain one. The other one with Ymir, they thought it was kind of interesting. Not everybody agreed with it. They thought it was kind of interesting.
I
mean-
think what's gonna happen, like, we're definitely gonna get one last big revelation about Ymir. Like, there's something that he wants to tell us before it ends. I mean, but there's obviously also gonna be a lot of stuff that he isn't gonna tell us, like leave deliberately open.
Potentially, yeah. I feel like it would be better if he addresses it because he's always addressed it.
Well, there is
details of the story.
Oh yeah, well there is some stuff he has to address, but there is some stuff that he could leave open as well.
Yeah, I personally, one of my theories is that I don't think it's, I'm like, kind of, I would say 50-50 on this theory. I don't think it's gonna happen, but if it does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. And one of my theories is that Ymir has her own agenda. I mean, from what we've seen, that's pretty obvious at this point.
I mean,
Yeah.
she's the one that brought all those Titans back to kill them, and Armin straight up said that Eren didn't give that order.
Yeah, like Ymir definitely has her own agenda, and I think, one of my theories is I think that it's possible, and we saw that last panel of the baby. I think that last panel is just that baby is a reincarnation of Ymir.
I think that's what's gonna happen. I think that's what's gonna happen. I really do think that's what's gonna happen.
Because I feel like a character who went through what she wants, one of the things she just wants really badly is freedom and
And it would be her only escape from the realm.
Exactly. So that is definitely one of my theories. And then another one was
And it's raining here. Sorry, it's
Eren-
just pouring down right here.
no, you're good. I mean, my other thing is just Eren is gonna have a very Code Geass type ending with his death.
He's gonna die either way, whether he succeeds in killing everyone or not.
Yeah.
I mean, even if they were to kill him, I mean, technically the Titans should still just rage without him, because we've seen the orders last even after death.
No, before his death, no, I feel like he's gonna die deliberately. I don't think he's gonna die by chance. And I think when he does die, he's gonna eliminate the Titan completely.
He could. Yeah, he might. Who knows? Rax thinks that Mikasa will die with him.
I think I agree. I think Mikasa will die with him as well.
She's gonna have some TNT and go in there, strapped up, ready to explode.
I reckon we'll
mean-
get Armin will go nuke, like Armin will go nuke in these last 3 chapters and blow up the skeleton.
I don't think Armin's dying. I think Armin's gonna be the leader of humanity after everything's said and done.
And then Levi becomes a cyborg.
Levi. Hey, it's possible.
I love that. I remember that when you first started that.
They're gonna
years
make
ago
him. He's
when
gonna
he
be
first got lined
cyberpunk.
up.
Gonna have the 3D maneuvering gear limbs. It's gonna be amazing. He's gonna have an eye patch. Shoe 8.
Yeah, I'm curious.
I
We'll
mean-
see. We'll see what happens.
He should be bleeding out technically because of that bite to the leg.
Yeah, Levi's dying. I'm guessing Levi's dying next
No,
chapter.
don't do that. I need that. He's like one of the only people I want to live.
Really? I mean,
I
The
like
only
Levi.
ones I see surviving this battle are Armin, Gabby, Falco, and that's about it. Maybe Sean.
Annie too. If Armin's surviving, Annie's surviving too.
I just need Gabby not to make it out.
Gabby's
Oh,
surviving.
don't.
I need
No,
my
he's
the revenge needs to
She's
happen.
like- She's like in the I know that people hate her for killing the potato meme, but she's like the top 2 best female characters in the
She's
series.
killing
Yeah.
people I like. She
That's
should, you know, a straight tight
We
needs to just
got
go her way.
Mikasa and Historia. She ain't above either of them. If you're talking about her writing,
Historia's
I would
smart.
agree.
She's keeping out of
I
all the
put-
crazy
well-
conflict off on the side.
Gabby, Historia, and Mikasa are the top 3.
Just imagine you're one of the people that are on
I don't want to
Paradise Island and you
Hanji,
just go to
I
sleep.
don't really know how to count Hanji because we know she's female in the anime, but Ishiyama's always been neutral when it comes to the manga.
Excuse me, Isayama said that Armin was best girl.
Oh, he did.
ECM would just be trolling, and we know Hanji's a female.
I don't know any.
Well,
Listen, Armin though.
It's weird, like, cause in the manga, like, in my volumes, like, when she's first introduced, it does refer to her as she, but everything after that, it's like, was deliberately taken out on his request.
He's trying to mess with the readers. I mean, that's fine. I mean, she doesn't really show any romantic thing, but we can all. I mean, I think it's fine for all of us to say. Let's just shoot.
I mean, the people that ship her with Levi is ridiculous.
Hey, I shipped her with. I thought she should have kissed Levi before she died, but hey, it is what it is.
What it is unfortunate.
Yeah.
It is important.
And we got one shot of like 1 page of the AOT Afterlife, or at least Hanji's version of it.
Yeah, I
Can
am curious.
Can I go become a wizard instead?
Next chapter should be interesting because we got Armin going to confront Eren again.
And Zeke knows something that's gonna be very
I'm
important
sure.
to him.
Yeah. Well, I think Ymir is purposely keeping Zeke and Armin away from, trying to keep Zeke and Armin away from Eren because they're the 2 ones that could actually foil the plan. Armin for obvious reasons, and then Zeke, both for
Royal
obvious
blood.
reasons. Like they both, yeah, royal blood. They both have a connection with Eren. So yeah.
That
What
thing
about-
about Ymir 8U2,
Wait,
that line, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna explore the spooky centipede tree thing.
Yeah, I'm glad they addressed that. When Gabby brought up, oh, it looked like a centipede, that means they're addressing that it's a unique kind of creature.
That means my 2 favorite manga anime protagonists both were centipede themed at one point. Oh,
Maybe-
damn.
Kaneki.
Wait for his next series. Instead of a centipede, he's got dragons, and I could finally push
He's
new dragons.
pretty much said he's retiring from manga, but he might come back and do a black comedy.
Oh,
I mean,
Isayama.
if he retires from manga, that's fine. Because he retires as creating one of the best manga of all time.
He wants to open his spa. He's got a plan.
I love those memes.
He's got an
I
agenda
will
of his
open
own.
a spa with the sweat and tears of my fans.
He's hyped.
All right. Well, Rax, we have to figure out the other characters for
I already picked mine. We'd have a poll. We gotta have a chat and see how many people go for each character. I voted Laxus for my protagonist.
I mean, it's not a vote. We just throw out a suggestion. I'll put it on the list, and then we'll consolidate it to 16.
Well, I like my pick. We'll have to think of more later.
Aaron. All right. What's one character from One Piece that has a really interesting motivation?
He's gonna say Blackbeard.
No. Mihawk. Oh crap! There's like you don't know
Mihawk
Mihawk's
doesn't really have a
backstory.
motivation. Motivation. Nami's motivation was pretty interesting. Sanji's was decently interesting. Luffy just wants to be. He just wants to be king.
How about
of pirates.
Frankie?
Frankie wants to build a ship, the greatest ship that could sail the entire seas.
Frankie's a schooler.
As much as this might be disagreeable with some people, I actually find the simple motivations very interesting.
I respect it, but this is going to be a tournament bracket who has the best motivations, and when we have people like Aaron, Sinbad, Lelouch, and Loxus, I mean, question mark? I don't know.
Well,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean, but that doesn't make like say
Actually,
Luffy's
I don't
any
wanna talk
less
about Joel.
interesting in my view. In my view, I'm not saying he was.
That's fair.
Like-
That's fair.
Mikasa in the soup, or not Mikasa, Sasha in the soup. That's a good one. She's gonna finish that soup before the series is over, right, Spider?
Ooh, Ken Kaneki. Why not? Ken Kaneki's motivations wild. He's a character. that will do a lot.
Kaneki's was poor bastard.
But Ash
And the
Ketchum.
fact that
Thorfinn.
the fact that like I know Rax has said this, but have you ever heard of this theory about the final chapter of Tokyo Ghoul? How it might have been fake?
I haven't heard of it, but I think
there's foreshadowing all over both part 1 and part 2 of Tokyo Ghoul that the final chapter might have just been Kaneki's hallucination. There's like foreshadowing all over.
Yeah,
But
I think
there's
I've
also-
heard that somewhere, but
I've got a link
Probably
to it.
not. Nah, I'm good. I want Kaneki to be happy, so I ain't gonna.
Marie
I know,
Stella
he
was
deserves
not having a good day. That
all
was the
lost.
first. That's the first sign as best girl, best cat.
That's cat.
Yeah, that cat survived the whole series.
Cat, do you talk about?
Marie Stella, the fluffy cat, that one chick's cat,
No.
survived the whole thing. Kind of like Winry's dog, best dog in Full Metal. Never
what I
brought
wrote so
down
far-
of having fake limbs. Never made him sad.
Fair enough. What I wrote so far is Loxus, Aaron, Sinbad, Luce, Kaneki, Thorfinn, Guts.
I think poor Guts just wants to lay down and die at this point.
Gus just wants to get this shit over with. Go retire. Chop up big trees.
Well, he has to protect Casca.
Oh yeah, I know. Like he obviously will not die until he can guarantee Casca will be safe. But you can just tell he just wants it to be over.
Yeah, but he still wants to be with Casca. And that
Oh, yeah.
anger in the recent Berserk chapter was.
I haven't read the last few chapters.
You gotta
Last
come
one
out.
I read was when Casca got back in the armor, and then she freaked out when she saw Guts.
Yeah, we got
a couple of
we
those. There's a
got
couple
some
more of these.
reveal of Skull
About
Knight's
Skull Knight.
backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah, Skull's backstory.
I think Berserk is actually heading towards like a final arc. I mean, it's still gonna be another 10-15 years before it finishes,
Yeah.
but
10,000 years.
Yeah, because we got a reveal of a backstory, and the God Hand that they showed in the backstory was completely different from the current God Hand. So that means this is a system, and so I don't
I know
know.
there's like one chapter that's not canon because
Yes.
it revealed too much.
Yeah, the Lost chapter.
What lost chapter?
The Lost chapter where Griffith meets God.
Yeah, that one.
What is
Because
that?
I think he's going to
Exactly,
introduce.
you have to find it. It's the Lost chapter.
It
It's
was
not
like
in any of the volumes. It's like 146 or
It's
something.
yeah, it's
Might be
no,
less
it's
than
like
that.
chapter 80. It's
Oh, I
it's
don't
either
remember.
chapter 79 or chapter 89. One of those two chapters.
I might have read it and never really thought about it.
Man. I am hyped to see where Berserk goes. But I think that it definitely can close out with one more arc if it really wants to.
Yeah, if it wanted to, yeah.
It's not,
Me-
it's not like poor Hunter x Hunter.
Muria's not honestly that old. I mean, like, what is he in his early 60s?
I actually don't
And
know
as
how
far
old
as
he
we
is.
know, he's not sick. Like, we don't really know why he goes on hiatus. I mean, everyone assumes it's writer's block. Togashi's got his back problems, and Vagabond's creator, obviously,
It's called
that took
GG.
him to a very dark place.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't
it's
think
like-
I ever will read Vagabond. I'm really not that interested in
It's brilliantly written, but that's fair enough.
Man, it's these other godheads look so weird. Except
I'll
for
have
Void.
to read those chapters because I haven't seen New God Hand yet. Or the old God Hand, sorry.
I mean, there's one returner. Other than that, everybody else is different.
I'm guessing the brain guy was always there.
Yeah. Well, he's like, yeah, Void's like their leader. Big mind
Yeah,
freak
right,
looking
like-
man.
People say, "You're my boss." Yeah, right. Griffith's like, "Nah, I'm boss."
Well, Griffith
I
was
am
the- was
interested
the
though
king.
on how he's gonna handle Guts and Griffith from here on out because even now, like,
Oh, that's gonna be next
they've
chapter.
essentially stopped caring. Like, Griffith has his kingdom, like, he keeps the monsters in check. Guts doesn't care about revenge anymore unless something happens.
There's some stuff set for the next chapter that might answer that. I'm pretty hyped.
Oh yeah.
Just gonna hope that
Alright.
he gives at least another month or so before he goes on hiatus again.
Yeah, there's a big clip.
Because hasn't he been doing it monthly the last few
No,
months?
no.
Oh,
If-
no.
when was
If
the last-
only.
What?
If only
I
that
mean,
was the case.
no. What I meant was like, because like, he's done like what 6 chapters between 2019 and
We
now,
get like we get
Something
like
like
maybe
that.
3 or 4 a year.
maybe.
It's
At
rough.
least it's not the point where he like, like when they were on the boat. Like it's not like back then when he took like a whole like
Ugh,
the middle of that boat arc and then he just disappeared for 2 whole years.
pain.
Yeah, I'm not reading that manga anymore.
Berserk?
Hunter x Hunter.
Oh. Yeah, you'll have to wait. Maybe one day they'll give you an anime adaptation continuation.
No, I mean they only need to animate one thing, and that's all Hunter x Hunter fans care about, and that's the fight between Ahsoka and Clover. That's it.
It's rough. Hunter x Hunter fans down
I'd
bad.
actually put the Dark Continent. As one of the best arcs, even though it's not even close to being finished.
This is the boat
You mean
ride
boat
arc. They haven't
ride?
even got to the Dark
Yeah.
Continent yet.
Yeah, I know. Well,
they-
like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But
Sad times.
yeah, I know what you meant. But
Poor Hunter x Hunter fans. Maybe one day there'll be something they can find to replace the Hunter x Hunter. Maybe that's Jujutsu Kaisen.
No, that's
Just
the Second Titan. But
Attack on Titan's
Well,
almost
that's
over. Jujutsu Kaisen's
What are you
just
talking
getting
about?
started. Through this next chapter. I
Oh,
can't
a
wait.
series that they can. I mean, yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen. It could definitely be JJK. JJK is a bunch of elitists, though. That's for sure.
I think a
I
lot of
wouldn't
the
even
annoying.
they're not even really that similar, like JK and Hunter x Hunter.
It's like the way that the tones are, and then like how their power structures and stuff work. Well,
Very
like
But
I think just
a
all the
solid
bad.
character-
I think all the
I
bad
wouldn't
Demon
call
Slayer fans went
JK's
to
power
Jujutsu
system
Kaisen.
complex.
Jujutsu
Hunter x
Kaisen
Hunter
is Jujutsu Kaisen's power system is pretty complex.
Yeah,
Like, just like
from
some
a
of, like,
lot
the
people,
weird-
That is pretty complex.
Like their healing is by
Oh,
taking
and-
2 negatives and cheating to make it positive by science. It's weird. That's how their
That's too
healers
much for
work.
your brain, is it, Rex?
I mean, just in like outright concept.
I'm
How
joking.
many series like have stuff like that, like baseline?
Yeah, I mean the anime is doing a great job. I watched the most recent episode with Toto versus my man Yuji.
I'm hyped. Next couple episodes, then my
I
boy
need to
shows
get
up.
back on.
I'm not gonna say
I
who.
need to get back on JK. Jennifer Lawrence, that's the only hint you'll get.
Everyone likes Jennifer Lawrence.
No,
Well-
no,
Yeah.
that's the hint for the character that's going to show up. That's your favorite.
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think who's showing up that has anything to do with Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah,
Or
very
wait, or is
true.
he already showed up?
That's not
You
my
mean Yuji?
my hype guy in this arc that's coming up.
Oh, Yuji.
A big plant fella.
Oh,
you like
him.
that
I can't
creature?
wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, the fight from the OP looks pretty interesting, so it should be.
I
pretty
forgot they
cool.
show him a little bit in the opening, so I guess anybody who watched the opening for the anime knows. Damn
Yeah.
opening spoilers.
Hey, it gets you hyped for the series.
No, but it spoils all the hype surprise. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
but
so much
he's
fun.
like
I
a villain that's like.
I
is
love-
it really that much of a
Konami.
surprise that he's gonna be a villain? Like, I
no,
don't
that he shows up during this. It was the surprise.
Yeah,
he just
I
pops
like it.
up, starts
Is
fucking
it
people
really a
up.
surprise that he's the villain that shows up? Because literally the last thing we seen was the volcano dude, and then we saw.
Yeah, he didn't think he was just gonna
Fusion dude.
pop up in the middle of this other.
I
arc.
really need to catch up on JK. Like,
Ooh,
I've watched
the
the
next
first four
the next
episodes of the
chapter.
anime. I dropped the manga after the Ghetto reveal.
That was such a good reveal. Kamo is
I
so
hated
cool. Kamo is so cool. I like him. He's setting up everything I wanted to happen in this series, and I'm so happy to know where this is going.
I actually care about spoilers. I did. read
I'm
the
not
prequel,
giving
so it's
specifics.
It's always cool that all the references to the prequel, and I understand it since I. Read
Yeah,
it.
Utah. Oh yeah, the volume just came. I gotta buy that actually.
Well, I might. I still think Volume 0 and the flashback are the best of JK.
That's because they're just getting started with a lot of stuff. I don't want to give specifics, but the next chapter is going to be the start of a lot of stuff, and I think where the bigger portions of the series are going to happen. I'm hyped. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be good. Also, new build king, new arc. Let's go.
Pretty
I got my
interesting.
agenda to push. Huh?
The kaiju number. Oh, I already read the recent chapter kaiju number. I can't wait for the new chapter of Magic. That's about.
Ooh, that too.
Is One Piece getting a chapter? No, it's not.
Is One Piece on? No, yeah, One Piece is on break this week.
I'm not surprised considering the fucking art that he did in the last chapter. That was nuts.
Oda said he wanted another week off. He's got stuff to do. He's got plans.
He can do whatever he wants. It's Oda.
He wanted to watch the
You don't-
Godzilla trailer.
Pretty much,
A movie.
Hell yeah,
pretty
he
much
said that.
Oda and Togashi can do whatever they want.
Maybe one day Horikoshi.
Horikoshi.
Maybe he'll get there one day.
He'll get the
Rick and
same
Morty-
amount of
Actually,
influence
Jujutsu
that
Kaisen too, like, they're
Togashi
getting
and
a lot of
Oda
money
have.
now.
Hey, I think Isayama has the same influence.
And Kodansha probably does.
Horikoshi. What is Horikoshi read again?
That's my
My
hero.
hero.
Oh, for My Hero.
Macadamia.
Yeah, I could see.
Macadamia nut manga.
I could see him getting a lot of clout. I don't know. Not on par. I don't think it's gonna be on par with Oda though.
I mean, he's their closest thing right now to like going, like having another.
If
Ongoing
Demon Slayer
cash
was
cow.
ongoing.
If it was, I was so
going.
they had the opportunity and
Yeah,
Gotage
they had
is
the
like,
opportunity
nope.
to make a
I got other
juggernaut,
I got other stuff.
but they
to do.
stopped.
She didn't
That's
want to
fine.
do it.
I
She
wanna-
didn't want to do it anymore.
The only thing about that confused me is she set stuff up to do that and then didn't do anything. That was the only thing that bugged me.
Yeah, your series blew up, but you about to make that moolah, and you're rivaling Oda. How much more
Um,
Gaka won?
Way past Oda, like in the yearly sales.
Well, yeah, that year.
2019
Yeah.
and 2020.
I mean, Oda is still above generally, but yeah, she was surpassing Oda in those.
She
those
broke.
few years.
Kimetsu broke every single one of One Piece's records except for the best selling of all time. That's the only one it didn't break.
Is that over 100 million?
It sold 120 million all up.
Jeez.
Yeah, she had a. Hey, she could have definitely went out and did some crazy stuff, but you know she quit. So
It's her story, her decision. Just gotta respect it.
I mean, she probably made a bang.
Wasn't even a single dragon. I was so upset.
I wonder
Not
if she's
every
gonna
series is gonna have a dragon in it, Rex.
You know what? And that's why every series it doesn't get my thumb ups of approval.
Yeah.
Where are these dragons?
As long as they have a wolf, that's what matters. You know what I'm saying?
Was there a wolf
mean,
in Demon Slayer?
I'm sure
There
there's
was
a
a,
wolf type.
there was a wolf-themed character.
Yeah, that's good enough.
No.
Hey, any wolf resemblance is good enough.
Well,
Wolves are
speaking
fine.
of wolves, have you watched the Red Golden Kamuy? It's got a big wolf in it.
You said Golden Kamuy?
Oh, I probably said it wrong.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched the most. I think first and
There's
second
3
season. I don't
seasons.
think I don't
There's
think
3
I've watched the third.
seasons.
I
Yeah.
basically
3.
watched to the point where she meets her dad and she gets taken onto the ship and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's her stuff.
So, I don't know if that series, the manga's still going. I think it ended.
I think it's still.
I haven't heard
think
anything
saw
about
it.
it.
Well, it's not being updated. It's not being updated on like
Yeah.
the official sites and stuff.
I better jump to the last chapter and find out.
It's basically a sign in One Piece in a real world setting. On a basic premise.
The Link for
Yeah.
Treasure?
The
It's like,
MC Sugimoto is fucking nuts. In the first episode, in the first 2 chapters, he straight up punches a bear in the face.
oh
Poor
man,
bear.
bear, bro.
Did PETA go after him
bear.
or what?
Huh?
Did PETA go after him for his bear attack?
No.
Oh, you know what?
No, you're
That's
The
right.
it.
bear attacked him.
Where's my hashtag? Bear beater.
I need a new chapter of Demon Slayer. That's what I do. I mean, D. Grayman. That's what I do.
You know, like maybe in like
Oh,
2 to 3
yes.
months we'll get another chapter.
It comes out every 3 months, currently.
Pain.
I
can't
mean,
take
the last
such a wait.
chapter we got was October.
So, wait. That would mean
mean-
it'd be out in January, early February.
Dang.
D. Grayman is so fire.
At least I'll have this 7 Deadly Sins thing to do this week. Because there's supposed to be a lot of new stuff coming up over the next couple weeks. So this is usually when like Show and Jump does new stuff too.
The Assassination Classroom Morph is coming back for a new series. I think it
Oh, they
starts this
say
week,
they said
actually.
what it's about.
I haven't looked into it personally, but it probably has been revealed.
Oh man, I hope there's a
It's
dragon
gonna
in it.
be as weird. Oh yeah, I have to read My Hero Academia Vigilantes eventually.
I
It's
gotta-
pretty
I haven't
solid.
caught up on Vigilantes. One day.
I
It
think
connect-
I,
It connects really well to the main series.
I think
It's
it's
important.
kind of weird having 2 series like going on in the same time. Like I think it's just so weird.
It's a spin-off.
It's a prequel. It's set before the start of My Hero.
Yeah, that's a point. Like it's either
It's extra content.
I just feel like you would want to know everything from the prequel or the normal series before you read either.
Well, it
Listen.
doesn't really, other than Eraserhead, and it hasn't really connected to the main series cast that much.
Did stuff for Stain, I think.
Yeah. Other than that, Eraserhead's the only character that is like, where he's, like, what he does in the Vigilante series, because we get like a whole flashback origin arc with him.
I don't know. I just feel like it's
Same.
always weird. I mean, sure, you can make that money, but you know, you could just save that for a later time.
Well, you're getting it's
Yeah.
just
Well,
getting more out to the
because
fans faster,
Horikoshi's
though.
not the. Well, Horikoshi's. He's not obviously not drawing or writing it directly. He's like the.
He's an administrator.
Well, kind of like how Kishimoto was with the Boruto manga before he took over the writing. Like Horikoshi's like the supervisor, ideas guy, and then this guy writes the script, and then this guy draws it.
I might have to see some of these continuations and then all these new series as well. But I am gonna have to end the stream. We're at like an hour 40, and I want to do stuff. I've been trying to do some chores all day, but I've been procrastinating.
Radio.
I'm trying to do streams again regularly, like Saturday afternoons. So
Now that you've got the Discord, it's not going to be that hard to join anymore.
well, that's why I made this locked channel. So it's either certain people, and then you can bring certain people in. So it's not just people joining in mass. Anyway, other than that, I'm going to end the stream for everybody in the chat. Thank you for showing up. This was a shorter one. I don't know why I decided to do 2 this weekend, but I really wanted to do 2 separate streams. Because I think I just wanted to have a chat stream with other people. And well, RTL Faith, check out his channel. Got Spider from the server mod. Also, actually no, because your Twitter ad is completely different. The Prime Jacob, or is it still Spider?
Prime Jacob.
Yeah, check him out on Twitter.
Which one call it?
Me on Twitter.
Yes. Talks about Transformers.
Sometimes. I'm mostly talking about Devil May Cry at the moment, or sharing the memes.
I forgot you've been on a huge Devil May Cry agenda lately.
Yeah, Devil May Cry is hype. I realized that the character Dante and Virgil are very similar to Inuyasha and Sashomi. Very similar.
I just see all the meme stuff that's Spider posts. That's
If
my
you think
that's
about
my
both
knowledge
of those-
extent of the lore.
Both of those characters.
What's funny
they're-
about
they're-
Sorry. You go.
Oh no, Faith.
Oh, I mean, the only thing I was saying is that the character stories for both are very, very similar. It's like
What were you gonna say, though, Spider?
Oh, I was just gonna say, what's funny about those memes is that they're extremely character accurate and would actually happen in canon.
I'll have to check out that motorcycle weapon at some point. But anyway,